Hey everyone, Tony George. It is live chat here for March Madness. All things March Madness. We're March Madness. The eve is upon us for Thursday and Friday. Obviously, happy St. Patrick's Day in advance. Going to be a crazy day here in Las Vegas. I can tell you that. Strip, Fremont Street, St. Patty's Day. All the dudes in town. Let me turn that down a little bit there. But nonetheless, welcome aboard. Throw out whatever you want to talk about. I just finished my bracket. Ooh, I don't concentrate a lot on these. I get in a couple of these bracket deals with my buddies, but I'm more worried about the point spread perspective of side of things. But nonetheless, it's nice to see after a very tough basketball season in college for me personally. The month of March has been real good to us and peaking at the right time. I've been doing this 30 years. Less is more, obviously. Would not advise spreading it around all over the place. We'll pull up some lines. Tell me what you think. Tell me who's in your Final Four. Tell me who you got winning it. Maybe some futures, whatever you guys want to talk about. We're here and ready to see what you got to say today. It's gonna. I tell you that this year is parity filled. Everybody's favorite, obviously, is Gonzaga to win this thing. I saw them play here in Las Vegas down at Orleans Center for that West Coast Conference tournament. I went down to the semifinals and the finals. They played San Fran and St. Mary's, and I mean, San Fran and St. Mary's are good basketball teams, but they kind of Scott Spreitzer. We did a video yesterday at Red Rock, and I'm not going to disagree with Scott on the air, but he's real high on them. And them in Zona, I think Zona might be the one. But at the end of the day, you stick Kansas, Zona, Villanova, Tennessee, Kentucky. Some of even Loyola, Chicago, Murray State, you stick these guys in, the West Coast Conference, they're all going to probably win the title. So, I don't know if they can get over. They got some good players, obviously. They're coached well. I don't think he's the greatest coach in the history of the planet. They're right now in college basketball, Mark Few, but I could be wrong. Matt, what's up, buddy? Speaking of Rick Barnes, over you're a young cat. Over the course of his career, Texas, where is he at? Providence before that, I think. Just couldn't win a big game. He couldn't win the Big 12 with Kevin Durant. Got in big spots, he faded. He's been doing that at Tennessee. You can't get him out of the second round. Tennessee is one of my sleeper picks here. This year, he's done a better job. He went on the road against Texas in the SEC Big 12 Challenge and lost. Texas isn't all that. That was a big game. They were down 52-39 with like 3.5 minutes left, and Texas crapped all over themselves. They should have really put them away. They came back. I think they lost by 1 in overtime, if I'm not mistaken. But he has enough talent on his team this year. Of all the teams I've seen in the conference tournaments this year, outside of Kansas, not even Kansas was a close second. The way they played in the conference tournaments, Tennessee impressed me more than anybody. And I've always faded him, but he has enough talent maybe to overcome that. I've got them going to the Final Four, Tennessee, because of that. I got them beating Arizona. So in the Elite Eight. Jimmy McDougal, assuming Nova and Loyola have a second round matchup. Okay. Nova's going to get by. I'm going to have to put on my glasses. I'm going to have to age myself. Gosh, damn it. I got to age myself. My bracket here, the print's a little small from the CBS Sports website. I got Loyola and Nova both advancing. I've got Nova winning that because of size. I think Loyola's a guard-driven team. The Mo Valley wasn't that strong this year. Obviously, there was, you had Loyola, you had Drake, you had Northern Iowa, you had Missouri State. You saw what happened to Missouri State, who gave Loyola all they wanted this year. You saw what happened to them last night in the NIT. I'm just saying. And they were playing a really good team, but I don't see. I don't see them getting past Villanova, especially with Villanova's coach. They're just been there, done it, bought the whole T-shirt factory. Thoughts on Virginia Tech making a Cinderella run? Very well could happen. Very impressive team from a lot of different perspectives. Putting away Notre Dame like they did was, whoa. Who else they take on? North Carolina. I had them in that game. When they played North Carolina, they're peaking at the right time. They could very well make a run. That could be very well be an Elite 18. Now, the ACC was down this year. I know about all the hype about Duke. Okay. But Big 10, Southeastern Conference, Big 12, those three conferences are in front of the ACC in terms of conference strength. But VT very well could make a run. Let's take a look at their bracket. They're going to end up playing Purdue. I got them beating Purdue, and I got them advancing to play Kentucky there in the Sweet 16. So, but it's going to be tough if they get Kentucky. It's going to be tough. Colgate against Scotty. My buddy Scott Spreitzer over at Dcos had Wisconsin advancing and beating Kansas. He loves Wisconsin. Wisconsin lost their last two games. One of them to Nebraska, my alma mater. I think Colgate can cover. You like Vermont. Who's this, Matt? You like Vermont to win, too? You like Vermont. All right. Ooh, Catamounts. Huh. Well, boy. Ooh. You always look at, we're wanting to find out who the next Loyola Chicago is, Baltimore County, Maryland, and all those type of teams. Maybe South Dakota State makes a run this year, makes a little bit of a run. They can really light it up. They were in a real battle with North Dakota State to win that conference title. It was a hell of a basketball game, by the way. But Vermont. If you look at the power ratings against Arkansas, But okay. South Dakota State, UAB, Chattanooga is my big first round upsets. I think South Dakota State and UAB both have some validity to them. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, hang on, buddy. Hang on a second. If I'm not mistaken, yes, I'll put this up there. Can you see that? That's UAB. I got them winning their first round game. Why not? Yeah. Arkansas takes down Gonzaga in the Sweet 16. Well, Robert does not agree with Rob. Rob's got UAB beating Arkansas. You guys could fight it out. Arkansas was inconsistent in big spots down the stretch. I don't know. They got to hit their threes. They got to shoot better. I was talking about Gonzaga to open up the show here. I mean, we got to have this conversation every year, and they're always in the narrative. From what I saw in person here, good basketball team. Their 7-footers really good. He's going to have to gain about 30 pounds to even think about playing in the NBA, but they got some players, and they can grind it out or they can run the floor. They can do about anything. But playing, Santa Clara and St. Mary and San Francisco is your three strongest tests in conference action. It's not like going through the Big Ten or the SEC or the Big 12 or even the ACC, for that matter of fact. Even the Mountain West this year had a lot of good teams, not great teams, but a lot of good teams, and there wasn't any easy games on the schedule. And Gonzaga had a lot of easy games on the schedule, so that'll be interesting to see how they do there. We just talked about South Dakota State. They got a hell of a basketball team. They could shoot lights out. I thought their game against North Dakota State was one of the better ones to watch in the conference finals this year. I thought Creighton Nova was a great game as well. But South Dakota State is one of those teams you want to keep your eye on if they can get past their first round opponent here. How deep can they make a run? I don't know. You got to be able to hit the glass, and that's going to be the Jackrabbits' downfall, I'm afraid. Did I take them to win first round? I'm looking to see if I definitely take where are we at here? I don't really look at the brackets. I look at the spreadsheets more so the brackets. So I don't know where everybody's located. But yeah, they're a good basketball team. They're good every year. They've just done great things up there. Providence is a very, very difficult team to beat. They don't match up well against them. So they need to shoot. South Dakota State's going to need to shoot 50+% from the floor overall, and they're going to need to shoot 40% from three-point range. Scott, let's see. And you're high on them. Well, you're an alum, so you're high on them. Don't bet with your head, not your heart now, Scott. Weak conference and do not respond well, getting hit in the mouth. Love from Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That would be home of the Howard Johnsons out by Russell Street. I used to hang out there in the Ramkota Inn way back in the day. My grandmother lived in Yankton, South Dakota. And my aunt still lives in Yankton, South Dakota. Gavin's Point Dam. Yeah. But I used to make sales calls up there to the John Morrell plant in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I have a biochemistry degree from college. I worked for a chemical company for about 8 years and sold chemicals to that plant. Was up there twice a week. The Sunbird Lounge. Ladies' night was on Wednesday night. I'll never forget it. Well, UAB playing Houston. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. Texas Tech, Arizona, Auburn, UCLA. I have UCLA in my Final Four. I have them knocking off Kentucky in the Elite Eight. This is a good basketball team. Arizona is a good basketball team too. Now, while the Pac-12 only has 3 teams in it, and they should only have 3 teams in it, Arizona and UCLA are elite basketball teams. Anybody east of the Rockies doesn't stay up late enough to watch their games and stuff. These are 2 really, really, really good basketball teams. Beat anybody in the country. Either one of them. Just saying. Texas Tech. I got Texas Tech in the Elite Eight. I got Texas Tech beating Duke. They're a good basketball team. They're a sleeper. Texas a sleeper. Tennessee's a sleeper. Who's going to be the Cinderella story? I thought it was going to be UCLA, even though they're a well-known team. I think a lot of people don't have them getting to the Elite Eight or the Final Four. I do. I'm sold on them. Who is the most likely 8 or 9 seed to beat a number 1? What? Oh, you mean to beat another number 1 seed? Well, it's not Boise and it's not Memphis. That Memphis-Boise State game is going to be a good basketball game. I got to get my lines pulled up here. I was remiss in my duties. remiss in my duties by not pulling these lines up sooner. Don Best. Okay, let's get to Don Best here. Let's get to odds. Okay. Let's get to tomorrow. Oh, wrong day. Let me take a look at that. So South Dakota is getting 2. I wish they were getting more than that against Province. Memphis laying 3 against Boise State. Ooh. Now, say you like Providence -2. Say you like Memphis -3. Say you like St. Mary's over Indiana -3. Say you like San Diego State over Creighton -2. Good luck with that, by the way. So say you like Murray State, San Francisco, 1.5. I'm telling you guys, the best free tip you're going to get, I've said it on numerous videos, don't lay 3 or less if you like the favorite. Play the money line. In many cases, it's going down to free throw contest, especially in these tight games. So a team laying 3, 2.5 wins 71-70. You bet them. You laid it at -110. You could have laid -130 and covered your bet. Think. I'm a big money line guy. You know, I'm not going to lay 190. I'm not going to lay 270, you know, with an 8-point favorite, 9-point favorite. But when you, most of the time around -3, it's 150-ish. 155-ish. It's worth the stretch. Lower the unit a little bit because you got more downside if you lose, you know, in terms of the VIG, the juice. But at the end of the day, play the money lines, dude. First round in the East as an easy winner. Well, I don't think Baylor's going to be an easy winner. Norfolk State might give them ball game. Look at that spread. Purdue in the East, easy winner. I think North Carolina gets by Marquette too with more ease than you think they will. There you go. Sam, thanks for tuning in. Do you got a good money? I've been doing these money line parlays, man. Yeah, I'll have one for you on the free pick video tomorrow. I haven't put one together yet. I have one big 7-unit play tomorrow. I'm going to have 3 games, or 3 or 4 games. I'm going to go low volume. I mean, you spread it around all over the place on this stuff, boys. You're going to get your ass kicked. Telling you, got to be careful. Got to be careful. But for a fun money line parlay, and for those of you that are living under a rock or don't know what a money line parlay is, you can just pick the winners of the games. It doesn't make a difference what the spread is. Now, it's not going to pay as much. If you were taking a 4-team underdog money line parlay and putting $100 on it and they all hit, it'd be boom. You know, but I'll do a spread parlay tomorrow for 4 or 5. I always do a 5-team spread parlay and a 5-team money line parlay. And since I'm not selling those, I'll tell you what they are. Well, I won't tell you what the spread one is. It's got all my picks in it. But I will give you a money line parlay. I think we've hit, 3 or 4 in a row over there in the free picks. Wow. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Scott Spreitzer yesterday on the Red Rock video said he likes Scotty if they would advance and end up meeting in the Elite 8, and Kansas came down to Kansas and Wisconsin. He liked Wisconsin. I'm a little worried about Kansas guard play. Brown's a good player. They can keep their big man inside out of foul trouble. I lived in Kansas City for 11 years, went to dozens of games in Lawrence at Fog Allen. I've been to Cameron Indoor. I've been to various places around the country, big college basketball venues. There's nothing like Fog Allen. If Kansas had to play every tournament game at Fog Allen, they win the national title. I like Rock Chalk. I've got Rock Chalk on my Final Four. I've got them beating Auburn. Auburn didn't play well down the stretch. Kansas regular season title in the Big 12 and conference tournament title in the Big 12. And the Big 12, and everybody knows I'm a Big 12 guy, but Big 12 at Ken Palm's the highest rated conference there is. That's saying something. And this is Bill Self knows how to coach in big games. I wish they had a lights out score at point guard. I really do, or shooting guard. I really do. I wish they had one. If they did, they'd be unbeatable. They got depth, too. You bet, Sam. Yeah, I have been on fire with the parlays. Been on fire with my picks the last month. I wasn't all season, but just kind of dialed in. We made some changes right at the 1st of March. I was disgusted and kind of got rid of a guy and brought on another guy and had another guy said, you just do this. And we started looking at different things and different matrices, which we should have done earlier in the season. We were on the skids and, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I tell you guys like it is each and every day. There's a lot of shysters out there in this marketplace that just will put anything on Twitter and Facebook and their websites and in their videos and just blatant flat out lies and, bait and switch scams and all kinds of crazy crap. And I don't do it. I tell you like it is. It's just, if you're having a good year, you're having a good year. If you're having a bad year, you're having a bad year. I do 8 or 10 different sports seasons in different sports categories, the Big Six, golf, NASCAR, MMA, more than that, and it's just real hard when you're just blowing smoke up everybody's ass and lying every day to remember what yesterday's story was. So it's real simple for me. It's win, lose, or draw, and that's what happened. You got a couple thousand guys tuning into these daily videos, had as many as 8,000 tune into these daily videos. They know what you're doing. They know what you're up to. A lot of them are buying your picks. You can't come on here and, blow smoke up people's rear end and expect them to buy it, So, Longwood over Tennessee tomorrow. Ooh, 7. Are you saying straight up? What's that on the money line? Tennessee's not going to lose to Longwood. Maybe they don't cover the 17. Are you talking about spread? Depressed Pistons fan. I'm glad you like my free picks because you don't like the way your Pistons are playing. Wow. Oh, man, that is a fall from grace from back in the heyday, isn't it? Straight up plus 1,200. Matt. Dude, put down the crack pipe, dude. They're not going to beat Tennessee, as I stated earlier. And trust me, I'm not a big Rick Barnes fan. You all know that. Anybody watching my videos, I'm not a big Rick Barnes fan. He's got a good basketball team. If Bill Self was coaching that team, or hell, Rick Pitino, I mean, they might win it all. Yeah, it's March after all. There is some madness. Yeah, well, you will keep it to college basketball, but yeah, Kirk Cousins in his career, he's pissed off that Matt's pissed off as a Vikings fan that they signed Kirk Cousins to another year. Wow. When's the last time that son of a bitch won a big game? Wow. He was fade material in primetime for a while. He's done better. How many games did they win in overtime last year? By the hair of their chinny chin chin. You know, when Cook was out at running back, you guys had big problems. But, you know, Deshaun Watson's up for grabs. You know, they had 15 months to build a case and 13 witnesses, and they couldn't hang a felony charge on him on a grand jury and cleared him of all charges. He's fair game. I know it's a woke culture and politically correct culture, and women's groups are going to raise hell whoever signs him and walk around in front of the practice facility with picket signs. At the end of the day, once the season starts, all that's white noise. It's let's play ball, and that guy can ball. He's one of the top 4 quarterbacks in the league. But nonetheless, good luck with Cousins. Sorry about that. I got Patrick Mahomes. And you see everybody in this division amping up the defenses here. Denver, plus they got Russell Wilson. You got Chargers putting on all kinds of defensive guys. They're trying to win that division away from Kansas City. So we'll see. Hawks today is a lock. There's no such thing as a lock. No such thing as a lock, brother. I'm telling you, it's a bad word. It's a bad word. It's like teaching your 3-year-old the F-bomb. Can't do it. Can't say it. No such thing. No such thing. So let me ask you a question, guys. A couple of different scenarios here. First of all, I want to know who everybody has winning it all in your bracket. Is this going to be a pro Gonzaga crowd? Girly, go away. I'm too old to be streaming, somebody said. Name was Girly. No, experience, wisdom, and age is a plus when it comes to sports betting. Trust me when I tell you. Arizona winning it all. Michigan. Dude. Boy. You're in for some disappointment with that one. Kansas, very well could happen. Arizona, could happen. I think Arkansas beats Vermont. I'm not so sure they cover. Vermont's got a good team. The Catamounts. There we go. There's Gonzaga. Like Kansas or Arizona. Rob on that injury. Well, it's not good. All right, mortal. Hang on a second. I want to get a live line on that when we'll talk about one. You never know what you're going to get with fucking Atlanta. I'm telling you, friggin' Atlanta, man. I bet the total on that's 240. I want nothing to do with that game. As an experienced capper, you're giving up 116 points a game and scoring 818 your last 5 versus Charlotte scoring 124 a game. It's not a lock. Not a lock. All right. Got Kentucky winning it all. I tell you, if they play UCLA, I got UCLA beating Kentucky. Kentucky just showed too many weaknesses, especially the way that a lot of the strengths that Tennessee has, UCLA has, and that's going to give Kentucky problems. Uh, Are they capable of going into the Final Four? If you do, you're going to end up playing probably Gonzaga or Texas Tech. I don't know. Diehard Michigan fan, I got you. Can my Hoosiers beat St. Mary's tomorrow? Yeah, they can. I had your Hoosiers last night. Premium play. Personally won $330 on $300. $330 to win $300. I had them on Indiana. I had Cleveland State last night too. Yeah. Duke for Coach K. Here we go. Here we go. Duke, and look, I don't care whether you love Coach K or hate Coach K. It's kind of like a Bill Belichick thing. You love him or hate him, and there's no gray area. I'm a fan of Mike Krzyzewski. I respect what he's done. His team is too inconsistent, and they don't play good defense. At some point in time, they're going to go down. I think, and if they get to play Texas Tech in the Sweet 16, that's going to be a very, very tough matchup for them. Would it be the story to end all stories? Yeah. If they were to somehow get there and win it, his final game and all this, that, and the other. You let North Carolina hang 94 on you. They don't even play defense at North Carolina this year. You couldn't keep up with them. That was in your house with his retirement party. FYI. No, don't take any offense to that. Let's be real. Auburn flies under the radar and wins it all. They're going to play Kansas. Kansas is going to beat them. Bill Self's a better coach than Bruce Pearl. That's the difference in that ball game. And the way Auburn played down the stretch, come on. Come on. Texas A&M, 11-point underdog. You lost straight up. Well, now we got some extra time to rest, prepare. Well, all right. Vermont. Everyone's double-digit seed advancing to the Sweet 16. Oh, my. Let's see which one I have. Don't have Loyola. I got Nova beating Loyola. And trust me when I tell you, there's going to be one. Who it is, I don't know. Vatek. There you go. Yeah. I would, Rob, agree 100%. I think Virginia Tech, what they did in that ACC tournament was friggin' impressive. Took down Duke. When they, again, Duke for Coach K, somebody said on here. Ismail. Well, Duke for Coach K was the regular season finale against North Carolina. They let somebody come into their house at Cameron Indoor and hang 94 on them. The ACC tournament, Duke for Coach, get one for the Gipper, Coach K. How'd that turn out? Virginia Tech, probably the best double-digit seed to advance Sweet 16, and they might end up playing Kentucky. And while they will not go quietly in the night against Kentucky, I think Kentucky probably gets some momentum. Big deal. Who was hot at the end of the season? Who went on a big run late in the season? UCLA, Kansas. They lost one at TCU. They avenged that loss. They play another tough game at home. They get in the Big 12 tournament. They walk through that thing like a hot knife on butter. That's momentum. Tennessee, momentum. Coaching has a lot to do with it this time of year. You want experienced coaches, that sort of thing. They put Kansas and AP Indy. They put Kansas Va Tech is going to beat Texas. Yeah, I agree. Kansas and Auburn in the same bracket to guarantee they both can't go to the Final Four. Auburn on probation and Kansas Kansas has always got an investigation going on. Always. They're always trying to nail Bill Self. He gives the middle finger to the NCAA. He's king of his own kingdom there in Lawrence, Kansas. Population 35, 40,000. Walks on water there. UCLA over Baylor. Of all the big seeds, in my opinion, top seeds, Baylor is the one that's most likely to go down earlier than any of them. They're not the same team. Bulletproof Bill, yeah. He's like Bill Clinton, Teflon. You know, stuff bounces off of him. Kansas is an institution. Over under Rutgers game. Ooh. Tonight. Under. Without question. I got to check my texts. You never know. There you go. All right. The missus is bringing home tacos for lunch. Hello. I'll take it. All right. Well, I'd take under tonight in that Rutgers game. One that I actually looked at, since we're all just sitting around here being friendly and everything. Couple of these games tonight. I've got a couple of picks out tonight, obviously. One in the NIT and one in the NCAA tournament play-in game. I'm on the Bryant and Wright State game tonight for a premium play. 134.5. That Rutgers game in general is a coin flip, in my opinion. I think it could go either way. Rutgers beat some really good teams. You've got two defenses here allowing 65 and 66 on the season. Notre Dame's got a little better offense. What I like to do when you're looking at totals is look at the last 5 and shooting percentages in the last 5 games. And right now, Rutgers is shooting 44%. And here's the bad news. 49% for Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is shooting 30. Pardon me. Notre Dame, their last 5 games, although their last game they played, they sucked. Wow. Virginia Tech put them over there, took them behind the woodshed and just beat their ass. But you look at their shooting percentages, Notre Dame's, which gives me a lean in Notre Dame this game a little bit. Although I think the Big Ten's a lot rougher conference, that the teams that Rutgers had to play versus the teams that Notre Dame had to play. Notre Dame shot 49% from the floor their last 5 and 42% from three-point range. Rutgers 44 and 30%. Rutgers also, and here's an interesting insight into something you need to handicap. If you're not buying my stuff or investing somewhere else, I'm not telling you to go anywhere. You should go to Dcos, but look at free throw percentages. And in a game where it's 1 point, 1 or 2 or 3 points, it's going to come down to free throws and timeouts and foul and timeout. The last 38 seconds is going to take 10 minutes to play these damn things out. It's going to drive everybody crazy. But look at free throw percentages because it comes down to that. And here's an interesting one. In this Rutgers Notre Dame game tonight, when you're talking about a coin flip ball game, basically a pick 'em ball game. Notre Dame's hitting 79% of their free throws over the last 5 games. Rutgers 63. Makes a difference, boys and girls. Makes a difference. All right. I'm not going to comment about the Bryant and the Bryant game tonight against Wright State because I'm on it. Futures bet on Tennessee to win it all. Yes. Well worth the stretch. I've said that earlier. Okay. Futures bet on Tennessee. What about Bryant? Not going to comment. Thoughts on LSU rallying around the fired coach? Yeah, Wade missed some time this year anyway. There's so many other games on the menu. Who is this? AP? There's so many other games on the menu. Why mess with one where there's some sort of adversity involved with one team and trying to predict on how they're going to react? It's tough enough to try and pick them if everything's kosher and you're just looking at numbers. Hello. There we go. LSU and Iowa State. Yeah. Iowa State, however, do you see their last, they score 36 points in one game and 42 in the other, their last two games? So you score 50 and you beat them? If they get past Iowa State, because Iowa State's a good basketball team. I don't know what happened to them at the end of the season. Just a brain fart. I have no idea. That Texas Tech game they played in, they weren't even, looked like a high school girls basketball score. They played good defense in those two games. They couldn't score jack crap. I got Iowa State advancing. I don't want anything to do with the game on a point spread perspective. Zona, TCU to the Sweet 16. Fear the Frog. Fear the Frog. Oh, yeah. I took TCU over Seton Hall. I did. Just in the bracket. I'm talking bracket now. TCU's tough out, man. They play some defense. They beat Kansas. Ladies and gentlemen. Not at Fog Allen, but they beat them. As a big I think they were a 9.5 point underdog in that game. 9.5 point underdog in that game. Let's hang on a second here. Let's talk about that one a minute. Boys. Let's pull this up here. Let's look at a few stats. I see Loyola drop down from -1 against Ohio State to a pick 'em on Friday. Might be a bit much for Villanova against Delaware, too. I'd take the 4 in Iowa State. There's some really good games on Friday. TCU, Seton Hall, pick 'em. So when you're looking at a game like TCU and Seton Hall, what's the strength of their conference? They both have identical records. What's the strength of their conference? TCU had a much tougher road. They're going to get by in that one. FYI. Going to be Arizona. If they did, TCU would be, I don't see it. Bryant line went from +4 to +2.5. Everybody pounding Bryant. I'm not commenting. Not commenting on that game. Got a 4-unit pick on that tonight and a 3-unit pick on another game. In the NIT, I got a real strong opinion in that game. Wright State, Bryant. Be a good ball game. Turn it on. Get some chicken wings. Turn it on. Coastal Carolina. Oh, God. Davison can beat Coach Brown. Davison can beat Duke. Davison's a very good basketball team. I had a lot of picks out of the Atlantic 10 this year. I didn't do so good with most of them, but the Atlantic 10 was a they have some really good teams in the Atlantic 10 conference. St. Louis playing tonight, they're a good team, you know. VCU, St. Bonnie's. Bonnie's went down, but there's good basketball teams in that conference. They're battle tested, trust me. Zone over Purdue in the championship. Scott Young. Ooh, wow. Purdue's that stud they got. Ivy? What's his name? So many names and so much handicap and NIT and all the other tournaments I'm doing. I lose track of these guys. He's a really good guy. I like Purdue's coach too. Zona's just not well known enough to a lot of people east of the Rockies. They're as good as they get if they're well coached. Iowa State, there you go. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Okay, Samsung Galaxy. Florida Gulf Coast. Don't you? The coaching deal there. Don't like it. Don't like it. I don't like turmoil in a program in March. These are 18-year-old kids, 19-year-old kids. You don't know how they're going to respond to that. Wolverines will meet Tennessee if they advance. Yeah. Well, you got football season to look forward to. This Michigan's real good tournament team. They have been for years. Your head coach had that meltdown. The thing about Michigan is you never know what you're going to get. It's a veritable potpourri of what the hell are we going to get tonight. There's too much of that. You can't have that when it comes to this time of year. Can't be done. There's a lot of people shocked that you made the cut, and people are just outraged at the seed you got. You just got a lot of things going against you. Maybe it's us against the world mentality, and they put together some really good games this year, and some other games were just absolute dog turd in the cantaloupe patch games. TCU, a better coach, Jamie Dixon. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right, Andy, of that Kansas TCU line. David, I'm not going to attempt to say your last name. Got to be Italian. Tony, I'm a member of Doc Sports. Thank you. What do you do when you send your picks out, for example, line's -2, and when you go to bed, it's -4? It's going to happen often right now, and it does happen all the time, especially like in the NBA or Major League Baseball line. We put out at 8:30 in the morning at -120. It shoots up to -140, 145. Cut the units in half and still bet it. So if it's a 4-unit pick, put 2 units on it. You're handicapping at a certain number. If it's anything over 1.5 points, 2 points, live to fight another day. I can't help line moves, but I don't put out a pick at -2, and if it goes to -3, don't bet it, because I don't think it's going to be that close of all the games I got to choose from. If I got a -2 favorite, I think they're going to win by 4 or 5 or 6 points, usually. If you got an underdog that goes from +2 to +4, boom, put an extra unit on it. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you tuning in. Seems like everybody is picking South Dakota State to upset Providence. They can upset them. I don't know if they will. That line scares me. It's almost more value on Providence with that line than there is South Dakota State because of strength of schedule. $237 to start. I don't know what we're talking about. Who sent me that? Atlanta, Charlotte. Yeah, that's up to $240 now. Going to be a shootout. There have been some high-scoring games in the NBA right now. Neither of them play any defense. Both of them are hotter than hell on offense. When it goes up over 240, I'd be looking to take the under. That's a huge number in the NBA. And they kind of equal each other out. They're kind of in equals teams. You know, they both got prolific scoring. Charlotte, #1 in the NBA right now. If you play any defense at all, you had any depth, you could be doing some damage. Final four, Zaga, UCLA, Kansas, Tennessee. Not giving him who I think is going to win it yet. Davis has screwed me royally with Richmond. You and a lot of people. I had a buddy in that game that was on Richmond huge, like 5 dimes. Ooh. Ooh. He was not in a good mood. Been there, done it, bought a t-shirt. Trust me. Florida Gulf Coast. No, I don't like the coaching situation there right now. Brian has way more experience out of conference than Wright State. That would be a true statement. James, I'm missing your point there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. New to the game, appreciate the insight. How do we sign up with Doc Sports Service? There's a link in the description below, or today's free play video that I just did earlier for you guys. Today's free play video. You go down to the description and scroll through the description. There's a link to go sign up at Docs. And when you do, it takes you to a page that offers you a free $60. Or that's how you do it. So just go to that link and you can type something in there. And your account, we park $60 in your account to use on the website, however you'd like to do it. And there's a ton of free information over there, guys. Write up free picks on almost every game you're asking me about, all over at the website. All kinds of insights, futures, golf, NASCAR, USFL's coming up around the corner. There's going to be some stuff there. Educate yourself. Utilize the website. 95% of the stuff over there is free. No one's going to email you. No one's going to call you with, we got the super lock of the millennium information so strong. The owners personally got $500,000 on the game, and we're 90-1 against the spread when the sun rises in the east, but then it's cloudy when it sets in the west, and whatever all this bull crap these guys are throwing at you, because more and more of legalized sports betting is coming to each and every state. You got more guys coming out of the woodwork going, these guys are suckers. We could take their money. We'll tell them anything, though. If you see it on the internet, it must be true. So be careful. But yeah, that's how you sign up at Docs. Purdue making a run. Purdue can make a run. Purdue can make a run. There's 7, 8 teams that can win this title this year. And there is a crap load of parity in college basketball. More so this year than recent years. But there's a lot of parity in college basketball. The difference between this team and that team is 3% shooting from the floor on any given night and 2 or 3 missed field goals or free throws. That's it. 3 or 4 more turnovers at the wrong time. That's it. That's the difference. You got to be careful. But James, I know it's Detroit, but there's so many other games to bet. Why would you get involved with something where there's turmoil at the coaching position? Who'd they hire? Chambers? He's not coaching. I'm just saying it's when there's other options on the board. I don't like turmoil in the program in March. I don't like it. And I've been on Gulf Coast this year a couple times. In Detroit, by the way, has played well in the Horizon League at times and came up and gave all the big boys, Wright State, Cleveland State, who's Northern Kentucky, who else is in there? They gave them all games, just saying. Gotcha. Futures bets I made recently. I haven't made a futures bet recently. Baseball, because I don't know what's going to happen early on, especially with NBA made those early in the season. I'll let you know when I do futures bets. I have a little money on Tennessee. I had a little money on Gonzaga. Gonzaga I put on early this year. I have money on Kansas I put in early this year. And about 3 weeks ago, I went with Tennessee to win it all. That's my most recent one. And these aren't like I'm unloading 3 dimes or anything. They're futures bets. 300-400 here and there. Some nice odds. Nickel State's worth a stretch. Warriors or Celtics? I can only go with the Celtics. Defense. They're playing defense. Warriors don't. It's not going to be the Warriors' year. Telling you. Maybe you get Green back. Okay. Day of technology ignorance is a choice. Yeah, James, I hear you. Why do you... Tommy, do you know why the Wake Forest game over and under went from 150 to 140? It did? I've been capping and getting ready for this thing, so my stuff's already out. I don't know why that is. That seems a little fishy, doesn't it? I kind of like the over at 150. Something's up. Start doing your research. Yeah, Nickel State's not a bad team. I mean, these huge favorites, guys, I've been doing this 30 years. A lot of times they back off the throttle late in the game. Bring points to the play. You got to play the next day. And once you get out of round one and, say Zona gets out of beating the winner of Bryant and Wright State tonight, they're going to be laying a double-digit number, knowing they're going to have either Seton Hall or TCU on deck. That again, there's no gimmies here. Out of the first round, there's some gimmies in the first round. I think every number 1 seed will win. Most number 2s will too. Maybe a number 3 gets upset, but at the end of the day, most of these are layup games. You're going to do just enough to win. Get your rotation players some minutes. Get your starters some bench minutes. And get ready to play a hell of a ball game the next game because everything's on the line. So you got to be careful laying around big numbers. How good is Zona? We don't see them where I'm at. Well, that's what I've been telling you. Anybody east of the right, they're good. They're a top 5 team in the country. They're that good. That's how good they are. Yeah. They got a big front line. They're physical. They're fleet of foot. They're well coached. They got guards that can knock down shots. They can play a half-court game. They can run. They can do a lot of things well, kind of like Gonzaga, except I think with a slightly better athletes. Slightly better. They're a good basketball team. If you end up with Zona and Zaga in the championship game, it's going to be epic. Trust me when I tell you. Why don't I ever lay over 150? Because the downside's too great. Just is. It's too much. Why? I'll go MMA, NASCAR, occasionally a PGA. I'll lay 160, 165, maybe 170 in a UFC fight. But I'm going to be real low units when I do it. Not going to be something I unload on. There's no value in it. Smart to take some of these huge favorites first half to avoid garbage time, which Albert, I was going to just say that. Thanks for reading my Successful Minds Think Alike. A lot of these teams will put them away in the first half and then just sit starters out the last 8 minutes of the game. Anything can happen. First half lines are something I look at. Also second half lines in game. And it was 16 states with legal betting. A lot of you got global outlets that do halftime lines, probably on an app on your phone. well worth investing in if you're legally able to do it for second half lines. I'll put some out on Twitter probably. I'll be over at Red Rock tomorrow watching the games, and I'll be down at Cirque on Friday. I'm not going down to the Fremont or the Strip on Thursday. Absolute screw show down there. You know, St. Patty's Day. I'm sure a lot of eye candy for you young Turks out there, and beads flying, and you know what that means. Pulling the shirt, yeah, all that fun stuff. I'm way past that, by the way, but I'm working. So I'll have a few libations. Go over to Red Rock tomorrow. I'm going to meet Scott Spicer, some other guys over there maybe. If you're out there, say hi. I think we'll be at Rock's Lounge. Probably won't be at the sports book. But at day's end, I'll be down at Circa or the D, possibly the Nugget. Swing by the Grotto to get some pizza. If you're down on Fremont Street and you're hungry around anytime after 4 in the afternoon, go to the Golden Nugget. Check out the Grotto. It's the best wood fire oven pizza you're ever going to eat. Light, refreshing, delicious. So that being said, it's common for 2 number 1 seeds to reach a championship. I don't know. That's an interesting question. I never really looked at it that. I'm not a trivia guy, but nonetheless, listen, guys, I'm going to let you go. It's been a fun live chat. Good luck in your March Madness. We're going to have a 7-unit play and a full slate of games over there for you at Docs tomorrow. We got 11 other handicappers, many of them on big rolls. I'm on a 12-3-1 run at the right time because the rest of the season has been a hogwash. But nonetheless, peaking at the right time right here, right now, being at the right place at the right time. We'll have a 7-unit pick tomorrow on a 4-pack and probably a 4-pack on Friday and 3-packs on Saturday and Sunday. Be ready to go. Maybe more depending on how the NIT lays out. But fellas, we appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Go over and visit Docs. We got a free $60. Link in the description below. For no one that's ever been a member, park $60 in your account. You know, try us out for free. First couple of rounds of March Madness. Daily packages are like $30. You're getting them for free. Be sure to stop by and see us. Best of luck. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you tuning into our daily videos. We appreciate your business. We appreciate your patronage. And we also appreciate when you're all making money. So let's make some money. March Madness, baby. Starts with an M and ends with an N. Moderation, but have some fun.